Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. So today we are doing the general reading for December. So what is coming up for you in December? What can you expect? What sort of energies will be around you? What will be happening? This is not connected to any particular area of your life. So I'll also be doing a love reading for December, which will be the next video I post after this one. But this is your general, what is coming towards me. There may be love messages. There may not be. There may be things related to other areas of your life. So I have chosen Yule themed cards today. So I'll look at those in a minute. And you might be sort of scratching your head and thinking, why is it just cards and not decks underneath as well? That's because I decided I was going to use the same deck for each of them. And that is the Yuletide Tarot. It's the only deck I have that is Yule or Christmas themed. So I thought, I like to theme my readings, so I might as well use this tarot deck and just reuse it for all of the decks. Yeah, there are lots of like Halloween or Samhain themed decks, both tarot and oracle, but there isn't really much out there for Yule or Christmas, which is a shame. So yeah, I'm glad. I was so glad when they released this tarot deck because I'd felt like there was definitely something lacking in that department for a long time. There was just nothing I could use that felt like it fully fit the bill. So I'm really glad that they brought out this lovely deck. I got it last year. And yeah, looking forward to using it. So we can look at the cards in a little bit more detail, but first I want to say a big thank you to all of my lovely subscribers. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. Please do subscribe if you find that you enjoy this video, if you're new here. Thank you to all my lovely, lovely patrons, including Kelly and Angelica. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me. And thank you to all of my clients as well who book private readings and healing sessions with me. So let's take a look at the cards in more detail. So these ones, this is unusual for me. I have chosen these cards. So normally, as you know, I would shuffle the cards that I place on each pile so that I am not kind of putting any energy into them. I'm allowing them to be chosen by spirit, and they may have a message for you. But today I have chosen them because they represent what we are discussing. So group one, you have Tinne or holly from the Celtic tree oracle. This is number 8. So little holly leaves and holly berries. And as I said, everyone's getting the same tarot deck. You're getting the Yuletide Tarot. Group 2, you have the Yule singer from the, what's it called? The Wild Wisdom of the Faery. No. The Fairy Forest Oracle, that's what it's called. All of my decks that I use in the video are always posted in the description box below, just in case you ever wonder what's that deck. Take a look because there'll be a list at the bottom. So this is number 36 and it says Rebirth, Feasting and Joy. It's the Yule Singer. Again, she's got some holly leaves and holly berries. She's got some snowflakes. She's got a cute little robin, which is really nice. And then group 3, you have Yule, Rebirth from the Witch's Wisdom Oracle. Again, I think that might be a holly tree, or it could be a fir tree possibly. There's definitely some holly leaves down here. Then there's snowflakes and a snow-covered landscape. Okay, so those are your cards to choose from. You can take as much time as you need. Pause the video if you need more time, or maybe just scroll back to the start of the introduction so that you can get a close-up again if you need a close-up of the cards again and a description of what they mean. And yeah, when you guys are ready, I will get started with pile number 1. Hi there, group 1. Welcome to your reading for those of you who chose holly or Tinne, as it's known in Gaelic. And this is the number 8. This is from the Celtic tree oracle. This one's going to be your reading. So we will be using the Yuletide Tarot, as I mentioned, and we have charms and dice and plenty of oracle cards as we normally do. But let me just take a look at the Tinne holly card to see what this means, because this may have an impact on your reading. So Holly, this is actually one of the Celtic zodiac signs in the Celtic tree zodiac. And this is how you write it. It's the letter T in the Ogham alphabet, the Irish Ogham alphabet. It's this symbol here. And it meant, or it was like, it stood for holly as well. So, in terms of the zodiac message, so some of you might have picked this not realizing it was actually your Celtic zodiac sign. So if you were born in the northern hemisphere, then this is the Celtic tree zodiac for anyone born between the 16th of May and the 12th of June. Okay, so the 16th of May to the 12th of June. If you were born in the southern hemisphere, then this is your zodiac sign if you were born between the 16th of November and the 12th of December. So some of you watching in the northern hemisphere, this sort of covers the time of year that you're going into as well. And this is a symbol of justice, protection, fighting strength, assertion and action, vigor, direction and purpose, balance, relationship, fathers and paternity. And it's interesting because the holly, it's definitely a protective tree. Think of how prickly it is. And it's evergreen as well, which, you know, sort of this symbol of always standing strong and always being there. So lovely protective energy if you bring some holly leaves into your home, or some sort of sprigs of holly with the berries attached as well. That can be very nice little protection talisman to have. So group one, let's see what's coming up for you in December. So we'll start with your tarot as always, and then we'll do oracle cards and then charms and dice. Hope you're doing really, really well. Okay, so what do we have? Okay, so your first card is the Krampus, number 15, so that's the devil in this deck. That's Capricorn, which might also be your zodiac sign if you're born in December, but would be towards the later end. Sinterklaas, that is number 5, the Hierophant in this deck. Sinterklaas or Santa Claus. Then 5 of Good Cheer, or the 5 of Cups. And the Lightning Tree, number 16, which is the Tower in this deck. Fascinating cards. Okay, so it feels like December, it feels like a bit of a growth period for you, group one. And the reason why I'm getting that is I'm seeing Krampus, the devil, in this deck, which is referring to something which is like a negative influence in your life, or it might be like a bad habit or a thought process that you need to outgrow and leave behind you, you know, something that is really not beneficial to you. It's holding you back, it's limiting you in some way. So you've got the devil, and then fascinatingly right next to it you've got the Hierophant. So Krampus and Sinterklaas. You know, these are two very opposing figures. There, it's kind of like the symbol of like the naughty children get the Krampus, and then the good children get presents from Sinterklaas. So it's that kind of feeling. There's almost like what's like an ethical or moral dilemma, or like a realization of I can't go on like this. And I think for many of you this is quite early on in December. I don't always read the cards chronologically, but you know, this is coming straight off the bat, so there does seem like there's I'm aware that this isn't right, or I'm aware that things need to change, or I didn't realize how damaging this was for me, but now I do. So I think in December you're going to have a little bit of as I said, a bit of an awakening, and you're going to be deciding, you know, is this the right thing for me to do? What should I do? How can I be healthier, or make better choices, or be a better person more generally? Or it could even be like, how do I extricate myself from this situation without causing, you know, terrible consequences? It could be that you've suddenly realized that your job is like actually a really toxic environment, or you're working too many hours and you would have to change industry or leave the company to change that. And, up until now you thought you enjoyed your job. Or it could be that you have suddenly realized that you're in a friendship group that's quite toxic, or, stuff has been going on in that group that you weren't aware of, and it makes you change your view of them. Or it could be like a situation where you realize, wait, this lifestyle isn't healthy. I can't sustain this long term. What can I do to improve my lifestyle? But also, you're maybe not ready for a radical change. You might want to more gently make a change in a more piecemeal way. So I think some of you, it's not so much how can I be better or make a better choice, but it's more like how can I soften the blow? How can I make the least difficult way out of this situation? Okay, and then you have the 5 of Cups, which represents sadness or a feeling of loss, or even just a focus on what has not gone your way, as opposed to a focus on what you do have that you're proud of, grateful for, that you enjoy. I often call this card like a card of misplaced focus. So yeah, you see he's got these smashed glasses, but he's got these like golden or bronze cups that aren't going to break because they're metal. They're much stronger than these fragile glasses that he had, but he's focused. He's looking down at those ones that have broken. So this could also just be an acknowledgement of if I want to change, I've got to lose something, or I've got to leave something behind. I thought they were my friends, but do you know what? Even if they're not great people, I'll still miss them. Or, I've realized that this job is taking so much from me, but I really like my co-workers. I'll be sad to leave them. Or, this industry is all I know, etc., etc. So it's that kind of like challenging realization, group 1. And so I love that you've picked the holly, actually, because the holly, as I mentioned, is such a strong protective talisman. So you might want to find a sprig of sprig of holly, or buy an artificial one and just keep it with you as a protective talisman and a reminder to be strong as well. Because we, as I read in the guidebook, this is a symbol of assertion, strength, fighting for justice. So the holly will really help you through this challenging period as you decide what the right choices are for you, and you look to come into the light out of a difficult experience. So let's get your oracle cards. Really keen to get more information for you, group 1. Elderflower, warding. Yeah, so wanting to keep something away. Warding is like trying to protect yourself from something. Keep yourself clean or clear of an energy. Maybe for some of you it is that you are removing yourself from a friendship group, breaking up with someone. For some of you, this could also be like a family situation. December, the holidays, can be a wonderful time for some, but a very challenging time for many. Spending extended periods of time with family members might actually be quite triggering or difficult for you. So maybe this is a realization that comes to you of, hey, I need to go no contact, or I need to really seriously limit the amount of contact I have with some of these people. And so you're wanting to protect yourself from that energy. Protect yourself. Maybe this is just, I need to visit certain family members. I really don't want to, but I'm just doing it to keep the peace. And so I don't want to, bring any of their negative energy with me after I leave. I don't want their energy to be affecting me. Maybe that is what you're focusing on. Group 1. Lunar, prosperity. Wow, so this is another holiday. So Yule, for modern pagans, happens on the between the 20th and 22nd of December. It's the winter solstice, the longest night of the year. And Lunar is the 1st of August. Okay, so the one of the warmest times of the year, typically, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. So prosperity, having everything you need and more, abundance. So that is a theme for you as well. Group 1 is abundance in this month. Having everything you need and more. Do you know, I think that's actually quite a nice message of you being provided for, even through a difficult experience. You will be taken care of. You will have what you need. The Isle of Wonders, number 4, revelation, teaching, discovery. So definitely revelation and discovery, they definitely seem to fit. You suddenly being aware that something is unsustainable or not right for you, or is uncomfortable, is unhealthy. Spirit self, be who you are as you are. Number 1, so this is also connected to acceptance, your true self. For many of you, this is about being able to be who you really are. Let me get a love message, just in case for some of you this is love related. Forgiving and learning. Okay, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Yeah, so I think definitely some challenging experiences with others in December, and it's up to you whether you forgive, But forgiveness doesn't have to mean that they get to stay in your life. You can forgive them so that you're not carrying around resentment and an old pain, but it doesn't mean that you want to forget. It doesn't mean that you want to, move past it with them being in your life still. Mural, be your own first priority. Number 25. It's a gorgeous card. Yeah, and that's definitely true. Group 1. So you have, the message here about spirit self, which interestingly is number 1. Like taking care of number 1. And then the message is here about negative influences, making choices that are, better for you, making healthier choices. Oh, interestingly, base card for this deck is Sword, make the change. Number 7. So making the change, whatever that means for you in December, pulling back, putting your foot down, being clear about your needs, being clear about what you will and won't accept. Let's get some more cards. Group 1, December. Moving house or moving on. Change of scenery. Going for walks, getting away from the same 4 walls, going on holiday. Moving on. This could also definitely be the case for like moving jobs as well, or, leaving behind a group of people, looking towards something new. Ah, yes. And then here you've got like the 2 rings, but one of them looks kind of evil, like the snake. It's got like red eyes. It's almost holding the other ring captive, and the other ring looks a bit bent out of shape. It's got corners where there shouldn't really be any corners. It's like it's been sort of badly treated here. So again, this is like a contract or expectation that is not good for you, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a job, whether it be perhaps the area you're living in. Maybe you've just realized that you can't stay living in this place anymore. You need to make a change. You need to move on. It's not good for you. Wow, interesting. Your base card here is this angel trying to hold his halo aloft from these devils trying to snatch it. That is so interesting given the Krampus and Sinterklaas juxtaposition that you've got there of good and evil, or good and bad choices, healthy and unhealthy, peace and chaos, So definitely, again, kind of get this as like prioritizing yourself over these other people that want a piece of you, or they want you to be a certain way, or they want to drag you down into their mess. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Group 1. Okay, let's get a few more cards and then we'll do your charms and dice. So this is your big theme for December, is like, what do I deserve? You know, why am I in this situation? Why am I staying in this situation that is clearly dragging me down, or I continue to make these choices that aren't right for me? How can I make the change that is going to lead to me being happier, healthier, stronger, more fulfilled? I follow the cycles of my body, number 10. Okay, so listening to your body, you might find, this might be the realization, the discovery that you get. Base card, I feel safe and grounded. You might realize that when you spend time with a certain group of people, or when you go to a certain place, your body is like not relaxed. You're like tied up in knots, you're stressed, you're anxious, or you come away feeling drained or sad or angry even from the interactions you've had, or the just being around certain people, being in a certain place just does that to you. That's your cue of this is not right for me. And some of you might have this realization because you've been away. Maybe you go on holiday or you go to visit relatives and you come back and you realize coming back home, or the thought of going back to work, is just giving me this awful, like virtually physical symptoms. And it's made me realize that I can't live here anymore, or I can't do this job anymore. You know, I thought it was fine, but it's not. I think for a lot of you, this is actually not a realization that comes very suddenly. I think for many of you, actually, this is something you've been subconsciously aware of, or technically aware of, for a long time, but you've been pushing it away. You've been not wanting to acknowledge it, pushing it to the back of your mind. And now, you know, it's coming up and you're sort of having to acknowledge it. First quarter moon in Cancer, push through any insecurity. Yeah, so you might run across feelings in December of, why am I doing this? This is so self-centered of me. This is not right. You know, I'm not worth it, or I don't deserve. Who am I to put my foot down? Who am I to say that this isn't good enough? People would kill to have this job. You know, some people, or, you know, so many people would be so happy to live here. I'm so selfish or ungrateful for, you know, saying that I don't like it and I want to move. But if it's not right for you, then it's not right for you, group 1, and you need to be able to thrive and be at peace and live happily. And you're not going to thrive and you're not going to prosper, you know, looking at this prosperity card, if you are in a place that's not right for you. You know, looking back at you chose the holly tree card. Trees, they don't thrive everywhere. They've got to be planted in the right type of soil, or near the right type of like natural surroundings. You know, some trees need to be near a river or some other body of water. Some trees need to be somewhere that's quite sheltered from the wind. Some trees need to be around lots of other trees. Some trees need to be in quite dry soil, and they'll actually, you know, droop and die if they're in moist soil, whereas others really love the waterlogged banks of a river or pond or lake. It's different for different people, just as it's different for different trees. You know, you wouldn't say that the holly tree was being ungrateful or selfish, or, you know, insert negative adjective here because it wasn't thriving in a certain type of soil or environment. That would be stupid. You know, you would never ever think that. So why on earth would you think that about yourself? You know, people are different. People need different things. That's why we have this incredibly diverse world, is that people are different and people thrive in different environments. They enjoy different things. You know, climate as well. Some people and some trees love the heat. Others not so much, you know. It could be that The weather is terrible where you live and you want to move, and you think that's such a silly reason to move. And, guess what? It's not. If you're not happy, then you're not happy, group one. And I think that's the realization for you in December, especially for those of you that have been away, visiting or on holiday, or you've just, gotten that change of scenery and you come back and it makes you realize things. Okay, I thought I'd get you a card. This isn't technically a deck. It's just some Lomo cards, but these, you got two, but they're identical. 20 pence little tree cupcake. And isn't that fascinating, because you chose the tree? Group one. Trees do not bloom wherever they are planted. They do not thrive wherever they are planted. They need a certain type of environment. It's the same for you. Whether that is a physical environment, or whether it's the kind of company you keep, or whether it's, certain habits that are damaging your health or your long-term, financial security, whatever it might be. Try to make the change in December. The change might just be that you've decided that in the new year you will, take certain action. You don't have to take action straight away, but make up your mind, make the decision. I'm going to move. I'm not going to start looking yet because it's December, I'm busy. But hey, in January, I'm going to be on, the property website. So I'm going to be looking for a new job, or I'm going to be doing this, and that. Yeah, make your mind up in December, group one. I also like that it's a cupcake, because this kind of gives a sense of treat yourself, look after yourself, be gentle with yourself, don't feel guilty. How many times are these lovely sweet treats presented as things we should feel guilty for eating? It's just food. It really is just food. You don't need to feel guilty about it. You don't need to think, oh, how naughty, how terrible of me. It's just food. Of course it's great to eat a healthy, balanced diet, but sometimes we just want the cake, and life is short. Eat the cake is what I say. Group one. Let new opportunities in. Lovely. Newness probably coming in for the new year. And the base card, you are taking the right path. Beautiful. Okay, so I think, group one, the way I will summarize this before I do your charms and dice is that there are things that you want to leave behind in 2024. You don't want to be bringing them through with you into 2025. So make the decision in December. And I think you probably already know, as I'm telling you, what this thing is for you. It will be different for everyone. But I think for most of you, you are already technically aware of this. You know what it is. You know what the change is that you need to make. You don't need to take the action towards it in December, but at least make the decision in December that you are going to do something about it, or you are going to make changes. And that will be for your long-term happiness, ultimately. Okay, group one, let's get your charms and then we will do your dice. If you are enjoying this reading, please do give it a like. Leave me a comment below. Let me know how it's resonating with you. I would love to hear from you. Try to reply to as many people as I can. I'm sorry if I do end up missing you. And yeah, please subscribe as well. It makes a huge difference to my channel. Helps my videos get seen by more people as well who might benefit from hearing this message. Okay, this one flew over the other side. Right, let me just turn these over so I can see what you have more clearly, and then I will let you know what they mean. Okay, well this one actually jumped out of the tin, which is always like quite a potent sign. So this one landed on I follow the cycles of my body, and it is a beautiful sunflower. Sunflower is a symbol of growth and abundance, and it's very similar to Lunasa, actually. I think of sunflowers quite strongly with the Festival of Lunasa in August. The sun and growth and abundance and these bright, happy colours. So if you follow the cycles of your body, if you listen to your body in December, you can blossom and bloom and grow towards the sun just as the sunflowers do. You also have the snowman here, which is a winter symbol. Interestingly, that is on the follow the cycles of your body card as well. Maybe you are feeling naturally like you want to hibernate a little bit, and this is just a symbol of like, listen to that, take more rest. Maybe it's even that you're wanting to eat a bit more or eat more comfort foods in winter, and this is saying, you know, don't feel guilty about it. That's a natural thing to do. Like animals fatten up in winter as well. Like it's okay for you to not want to eat the super light meals that you might normally try and eat in the warmer months. You know, it's fine for you to eat heavier or more comforting, more filling food in winter, or even just more of it, you know. That's fine. Group 1. What else have we got? We've got the crocodile. So definitely there is a manipulative person or someone who is only out for themselves. They are around you in December. Try and be careful of, you know, someone who is just not acting in your best interest. If they try and get you to do something, it's because it has some kind of benefit for them. They have an ulterior motive. Just be aware of, you know, people who might take advantage in December, or people who are controlling or manipulative, or just bad news. Group 1. You've got the pearl of wisdom. Okay, so pearl of wisdom, some kind of insight, some kind of realization. You know, we've had that as well, the realization, the discovery, the eureka moment. And you have black obsidian as well. The black obsidian ball is about truths unveiled, mysteries being revealed, things that were once hidden now coming to the forefront, and you being able to see them clearly and properly. Interestingly, black obsidian is also a protective stone. So again, it's similar to the holly in that it has this protective energy. You might want to carry black obsidian around with you, or a similar crystal like black tourmaline is another one, jet as well, onyx. You might want to carry these around or have them somewhere in your home as a protective symbol during difficult periods. You have Uranus here. This is an interesting one. So this is on the astrology dice. So Uranus is the planet of change, radical change, doing things differently, being a bit eccentric, a bit quirky. Uranus asks you to shake things up. So when you get an Uranus transit, it generally means that you want to do things in an unconventional way, or you want to radically change things. So that makes sense. I mean, literally here on the card it's landing on, she's drawing this castle that's on fire. You know, this beautiful, strong structure, and it's been set fire to. That is kind of the Uranus energy a little bit. It's not always destructive, like I'm not necessarily saying that, but it is definitely like flipping the world on its head, doing things differently, like this is how it's going to be from now on. So a bit of a radical shake-up in December. Do check as well, do check your birth chart, see where Uranus is in your birth chart, what sign it's in, what house it's in. Is it making any sort of major aspects with other planets or asteroids? You know, what does that say about you as a person if that's in your birth chart? But also check to see if you have any Uranus transits happening in December as well that could be affecting your life. Okay, then you have the maple leaf. That's a symbol of stamina, fortitude and perseverance, endurance through difficult times. It's also a symbol of Canada, and I should say as well, the sunflower is a symbol of Ukraine. So some of you, that could indicate where you might be traveling to, or you might be wanting to move to a certain place. Equally, this could just indicate that maybe some of you are dealing with someone who is Canadian or who has a Ukrainian name or surname, for example, or you might be wanting to work for a company that is Canadian or Ukrainian, or perhaps has something in their name that reminds you of that. You know, maybe they're called like, I don't know, like Kiev Systems or Maple Transport or something along those lines. Just something that kind of makes the association in your mind. Just keep an eye out for that. It won't be the case for everyone, but you know, there could be something there. You have the monkey, playfulness, having fun, allowing yourself to have fun. So this, I think, goes back to the don't feel guilty message. There's a few things here about you potentially feeling guilty or like you are wrong or bad for making certain decisions. No, be gentler with yourself. Allow yourself to make these choices. Allow yourself to have fun and do what is right for you. The monkey is also a zodiac symbol as well. For anyone born in the lunar year of the monkey, they might be important to you at this time. You have the little fairy sitting on the moon. This is like when you're sitting and waiting for your dreams to come true. Kind of makes me think of the DreamWorks logo as well. The man that's fishing on the moon. Makes me think of like you're waiting to catch your come true fish, you know? Waiting for that miracle to happen. And then you have the feminine, symbol of the feminine here, on the 5 of Cups. So that might represent you if you're a woman. You might be the person who is, you know, kind of focused on not the right things, or perhaps if you don't resonate with that, you know, this could potentially be your partner who's feeling really down. Maybe you're supporting them through this, or maybe it's someone else that's close to you that you're aware that they're struggling. This is a bit of broken charm, so I don't read that one. And then finally you have the gauntlet, which is a symbol of like feeling challenged or challenging someone else. So you throw the gauntlet down to challenge someone to a duel historically. So this is a symbol of like either you feel challenged by what's happening, you feel confronted, you feel like, you know, almost triggered, or you are challenging someone else. And in a way, I think you're trying to not do that. Group 1, I think some of you are actually actively trying to think, how can I leave this friendship group or this job or this relationship or go no contact or low contact with family in the least confrontational way possible? You know, how can I avoid stoking the flames of, you know, this person or this group of people? So I think that's on your mind. Let's finish up with your dice now as well. Group 1. Okay, so we're rolling the 6th set of dice for you. Those ones are the Voyager's dice, actually. Travel could definitely be on your mind, or playing a part in what's happening. Okay, that's a 0. I'm going to roll again. Group 1, how many dice am I rolling for group 1? 8. Lovely. Now there's only 9 in each box, so this is nearly all of them that you're getting. Okay. Haha, yes. Yay. Okay. Yes. Right. So, the egg, the cracking egg, new life, new beginnings, a fresh start, potential, birth and rebirth. I mean, that is exactly what Yule, or the winter solstice, is all about. It's the rebirth of the sun. It's hope for the future. Sovereignty with the crown. Making decisions for yourself, not letting someone else just run roughshod over you, letting yourself be the one that makes decisions about you and about your life. You have the elephant, memory. I also think of the elephant as being kind of like a I'll cross that bridge when I come to it kind of animal. Like they just sort of, you know, march through wherever they're going. They move branches and things out of their way, clear it as they need to, you know, and then they just keep on going. There's, just a gentle, like, I'll take things as they come kind of feeling. And maybe that's relevant to what your body is telling you in December. You have the futuristic city. Kind of looks a little bit like this castle over here. This is the city of your dreams. So when I get that dice, it's all about you dreaming about your future, planning your future, allowing yourself to daydream about the wonderful things that can be in your future. You've got music, singing, dancing, writing music, playing an instrument, listening to music, all recommended at this time. Sound healing as well. You might just find that you are really healed by those things. You have the cave, wanting to retreat from people, wanting to take care of yourself, wanting to be in your special, sacred, private space, your sanctuary. And this kind of fits with the low energy meter here. Like you're running low on bandwidth and the ability to deal with, some of these things that have been pressing on you. And that's why the realization comes of, this is not sustainable. I need to make a change. And then finally, the submarine, a deep dive, looking into your subconscious, examining your feelings. If you think of water as representing emotion, a submarine is kind of giving us the opportunity to go really, really deep into our emotional world, kind of get to the bottom of our psyche in a way, understanding why subconsciously we feel the way we do, why we respond to certain things in a certain way, where are these emotions coming from? What's the root cause? Why am I feeling like this? So I think there's a lot of examination of feelings and reactions and, just how you respond to things in December. So group 1, I hope this was helpful. It does look like it's maybe a little bit of a challenging month for you, but one that ultimately I think is going to lead to much more happiness longer term. I appreciate that's not very helpful right now, but it feels like once you start making decisions, it's almost like the decision to change is the hardest thing. Everything kind of falls into place after that, I think. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found this helpful, group 1. Have a lovely rest of your day. Please like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Head over to Patreon if you want to support me further. I also have my Etsy page where I sell private readings and energy healing sessions. So check that out. All of the links are in the description box. I have my Amazon wishlist as well for anyone who wants to send me a new deck. That is always greatly, greatly received with such appreciation. And I'll give you a shout out as well when I use the deck on the channel. And yeah, thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of your day. Take care, group 1, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye. Hi there, group 2. Welcome to your reading for those of you who chose the Yule Singer. Number 36, Rebirth, Feasting, Joy. This one is for you. So as I mentioned, we're going to be using the Yuletide Tarot, which is this deck, which I'm just using for each pile today. So Rebirth, Feasting, Joy. I mean, these are very much the themes of Yule and of Christmas as well. So December could be a time when you are enjoying renewal or looking forward to renewal, the new year, rebirth of the sun at the winter solstice, just, getting ready to shake off any stagnant energy and leave things behind in 2024 and move forward into 2025 feeling refreshed. Joy is such a lovely word as well. Doing things that you enjoy, spending time with people in a happy and joyful way. Okay, group 2, let's get your tarot cards. So let me just shuffle, and as usual we've got plenty of oracle cards, we've got charms and dice as well, so plenty to get through in your reading. So I hope you are sat somewhere cozy, snuggled under a blanket with a cup of tea or hot chocolate or something delicious like that. Okay, group 2. So you have try and remember the order. So the first one was Sinterklaas, number 5. Sinterklaas or Santa Claus. This is the Hierophant in this deck. Group 1 got that card as well. Then you have Ace of Good Cheer, which is the Ace of Cups in this deck. So Ace of Good Cheer. And then, interestingly, another card that Group 1 got, 5 of Good Cheer, the 5 of Cups. Maybe there's a bit of a collective energy with the Hierophant and the 5 of Cups in December. And then the World. Okay. It's quite fitting for December with it being the end of one year and leading into the beginning of another. Okay, so those are your tarot cards. Obviously, we're going to get plenty of oracle cards, charms and dice as well. But just to have a look at the meanings here. So Taurus is showing up in your reading with the Hierophant, Sinterklaas. This card, so traditionally this card stood for organized religion in the old days of the tarot, and it still can, but obviously that's not a meaning that is, you know, applicable to everyone in today's time. So some of you might be attending church or temple or wherever it is that you go to worship around this time. A lot of people, you know, who don't typically go to church, for example, they go around Christmas time because that feels like a meaningful tradition for them. So that could be something. Also, it is connected to ethics and morality. So the Hierophant is about doing the right thing, wanting to be a good person, wanting to live by a certain moral code. It doesn't have to be associated with any religion or any group of people. It can just be your internal moral code. But it's like you want to be consistent in implementing that. And the other thing that the Hierophant stands for is like institutions, communities. So if we think about organized religion, you know, it was also a community. It was a space of like-minded people, and still is as well in many cases, not always if it's forced, but, you know, it's a unifying thing. So sometimes the Hierophant can refer to communities that you were a part of. So it could be like hobby groups. It could be a university, for example, or some other educational institution. It could be a charity that you volunteer for. It could be a company you work for, but it's usually a bit more interest related. I mean, I'm not saying you're not interested in your job, but to me, career is a bit of a separate thing that shows up in other areas of the tarot. This is more to do with things you feel called to do for leisure or for the community. So yeah, community events, there could be special events going on related to those communities, those institutions that you are part of. Could even mean that if you're at university, you have exams, you know, it's like an important time. Ace of Cups. Lovely card, symbolizing new love or renewed love within a relationship. Things that you enjoy doing, again, things you're passionate about, also symbolizes a new home sometimes, new friendship, or renewed, you know, it's either new or renewed relationships. 5 of Cups is to do with sadness or a feeling of loss or a feeling that something hasn't quite gone the way you wanted it to. I explained to group 1 that I see this card as like a card of misdirected focus, because you can see he's looking at these smashed glasses, but he's not looking at the bronze cups over here that are still standing and which won't shatter because they are bronze or gold. They're not glass. So they're much more durable. So it's kind of like when you're focused on just the things that didn't go well, or just the things that didn't quite work out the way you'd hoped, and you're not focused on, for whatever reason, the things that you are grateful for, or the things that did go really well, or that you're proud of. And then finally, the World is this card of completion, closing a chapter, closing, you know, like one area of your life and starting the next one, or going up a level, ready for new beginnings, a sense of closure and wholeness, like you're not missing anything. It's a nice card to have. Okay, let's get your oracle cards now. As I said, we've got plenty. So, what do we have? So, the unknown, number 5. What does that say? It says knowing the unknown. Okay, so getting to know what you don't know, in a way. Getting acquainted with what it is that you don't fully understand. And you have women supporting women. This is a really specific one. Number 22. Together we can transcend our individual limitations. So this could be the community thing. You could be drawn to some community event or some group that you are part of that is connected in some way to women supporting other women. That could be some important experience in December. You could also just find that you are more drawn to your female friends, female colleagues, female family members at this time, that you just have a stronger bond with them. I would also read that as men supporting men as well. So if you're a man, if you're watching this and thinking, well, that doesn't apply to me, it could be the opposite. You know, it could be that you're more drawn to your male relationships and drawing a lot of strength from that. The pathway, number 35, direction, purpose, change. Beautiful card. Okay, so walking with purpose, knowing where you're going, making a change perhaps stepping into the unknown a little bit and getting to know it, understanding more. Herbal kitchen, alchemist. Okay, so alchemy, transforming negativity into positivity, transforming a situation from one that is challenging or difficult or even upsetting into something that is empowering and transformative and perhaps healing. That is interesting, given that you do have this juxtaposition of the 5 of Cups, and then on either side of it you've got like the Ace of Cups and the World, a new beginning, an ending with completion, themes of completion and wholeness and closure, and the new beginning. You know, it's like the Alpha and Omega are sort of like either side of this. They're flanking the 5 of Cups. So it's like transforming a situation that perhaps didn't go to plan, didn't go the way you wanted, or something didn't happen that you were hoping would happen. You know, it can be that sort of thing. Or even, you know, I keep saying this, but actually it might not be event related. Sometimes these cards aren't related to a particular event. They can just mean that you're just feeling a bit down. No particular reason. You can't put your finger on it, but in December there might be a period of time where you're just a bit low and you're not really sure, and things upset you more easily, and you focus so much on your insecurities or the things you think you haven't done well, or the things that you know, wish you could go back and change, or the things that you wish you had currently that you don't. And it's like, you know, you can choose to focus on that or you can choose not to. And I'm especially drawn to the World, actually, because again, I keep hearing in my mind completion. And normally when I think of the World, I think of that sense of moving on, of closure, of, you know, an ending, and then one that precipitates a beginning, a positive ending, you know, not something that you don't want to finish, but something that you're glad to finish, like finishing a course and becoming qualified. You know, it's that kind of feeling. Being promoted at work, you know, that's sort of going up a level. But I keep hearing completion. So actually, Group 2, there might be like something around you having what you need in December. Maybe you thought that you needed more than you actually did. And something, you know, there's just something here about realizing, actually, I'm happy with this. Just bear that in mind, because that's a message for some of you. Salt, protection. Protecting your energy in December. And especially if you feel a bit fragile, I think that's quite important. You know, if you feel a bit vulnerable, a little bit emotional, like things might easily upset you more easily than they usually would, it's normal and it's prudent to protect your energy. So don't try your best not to be in situations that might push you over the edge, you know, being around people that you don't enjoy their company, they're abrasive, they're draining, you know, whatever it might be. Try not to listen to sad music, for example. I'm just giving random examples, but like we all know things that can make us feel worse than we need to. And we also know the things that make us feel better, the things that kind of cocoon us in a little safe bubble, you know, that are comforting, our home comforts, or comfort food, or that TV show or film or book that is just like a comfort blanket. Like every time you watch it or listen to it or read it, you just, you know, it's like a warm hug, that kind of thing. If you're feeling fragile, try and surround yourself with those things that make you feel happy. And I just heard scent as well. So some of you might be quite sensual people, maybe scenting your home in a certain way, maybe wearing perfume or putting perfume on or like essential oil or something onto a tissue or something, carrying it round with you, or if you have lava beads, putting it onto those. Scent can be very calming, very relaxing, or it can lift your mood even. So yeah, sensual things. Again, just something to bear in mind, group 3. Okay. 2 cards from this deck. So you have the little boy who is like holding onto the eagle, flying away with this empty bird cage. So the eagle has perhaps escaped. The boy looks like a little bit scared, but also like he's just laughing uncontrollably at the rush, the exhilaration of being swept away through the air like this. There's a sense of like real freedom, a little bit of fear, because, you know, true freedom can inspire fear, but also excitement, exhilaration, the realization of, you know, the unknown, perhaps, that there are lots of possibilities for you. You might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed, but also a bit excited by the fact that you have these possibilities, group 2. Maybe this is to do with like your plans for the new year, and you're a bit like, which direction am I going to go in? There are so many options out there for me. You also have the hand rising up out of the desert sand, and it's got a lighthouse on it, like a beacon, and there is a wrecked ship nearby. So this is like symbolic of, I'm getting a few things here. I'm firstly getting protection. So similar to your salt card, you're being protected from accident, being protected from disaster. You might also be choosing to protect yourself from this as well. So there's like a double message there. You know what I said about taking precautions and knowing what's right for you and what isn't. I also think this is about not repeating mistakes. So as you can see, this ship has been wrecked. Maybe they didn't see the lighthouse. Maybe the lighthouse is new so that this doesn't happen again. You know, it's like, okay, that happened that one time. How can I ensure it never happens again? Maybe I need to plan ahead so that I'm more organized next time. Maybe I need to, you know, do X, Y, Z. There's just a sense of like, what can I do to ensure that doesn't happen again, or that I don't repeat the same mistakes, or that I don't repeat other people's mistakes as well. Like, learn from other people's experience. Other people's wisdom is also valuable. Your love message in December is express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So in December, don't be afraid of letting someone know that you care. Letting someone know the depths of your feelings. Being open about your desire for love with the universe, for example. You know, really letting it be known that this is what you want. This is what you're looking for. Be clear about your plans, hopes, and intentions with your partner. This could also be to do with the possibilities and the freedom and the unknown message. Perhaps you want to take the next step with your partner. You're not sure if they're on the same page. Now is the time to be open. Bitchfire, number 16, stand up for yourself. So yeah, being honest, being open, being assertive about what you need, and that could be in the sense of protecting yourself, in the sense of saying, do you know what, this isn't for me, or I can't be around this, excuse me, because I'm going away. Be clear about what you want. I think some of you are perhaps trying to manifest something in December, or you're perhaps setting intentions for the new year to manifest things. And I think just be clear with your intention, be clear about what you want, what you're bringing into your life. Especially if you're spell casting, make sure that you've thought through any potential loopholes or any vagueness in the wording. You want to be very, very clear, making sure that it can't be misinterpreted what you're asking for. Be clear with yourself as well, because sometimes our own minds can be very garbled as to what it is we actually want, and that leads to us just behaving in weird ways. Two cards from this deck. Movement helps my energy and emotions to flow. Number 7. So try and get as much movement as you can in December. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it's probably quite cold. You might not feel much like going outside, but even if you don't, feel, or it's not safe to go for a run or something outside, or you might want to go for a walk, but maybe for a less period of time than usual, there's still stuff you could do inside. If you have access to exercise equipment, or if you have access to a gym, could do that sort of thing. You could also dance, do yoga, Pilates, etc. There are lots of ways you can move without necessarily going outside. And your other card is I am one with the infinite consciousness, number 45. So a sense of oneness in December, perhaps being guided really clearly. Perhaps you're sort of open to divine guidance in December, because you've got this image of the unknown and the woman sort of walking towards it, but it actually says knowing the unknown. Okay, so not just like blindly walking towards something, but knowing that this is correct, or learning about what this is. And then you've also got this image of the woman walking over the bridge and up the hill. There's a sense of, I've been told to do this, or I know this is the right thing, or I'm being guided to make this choice. Full moon in Libra, find a balance. That could be work-life balance, that could be the exercise or the movement that we've talked about. Interestingly, the base card for this deck is last quarter moon in Pisces, talk less, feel more. So being more in tune with your feelings. Find a balance. Could also be to do with nutrition, eating a more balanced diet. Could be balancing your needs with the needs of another. Could be more balanced spending habits, potentially. It could be anything. Take what resonates with you, group 2. You have the little tree in a snow globe or a terrarium. 15 pence from this deck. These aren't technically oracle cards, they're just little Lomo cards, but I thought I'd use them for this reading. So the tree and the snow globe, there's a protective element about this, isn't there? There's a sense of like being in your own little bubble, protecting yourself, looking after yourself. There's also an element of viewing that comes from this. It's like one big window, so you're looking at something, maybe looking at it from all angles, because it's a round snow globe. You can turn it around, you can see it from all different positions. Be assertive. Oh my goodness, yes. Stand up for yourself, be assertive. Share your feelings. Base card is self-confidence. Absolutely. Okay, so group 2, you are going to know what's right for you in December. You're going to know what's right. You may need to protect your energy from others, but it looks like you have some supportive people who are going to be around you. You've also got these new possibilities that are a little bit scary, but also, you know, exciting, exhilarating. You're experiencing community in December. You're able to transform a situation from one of limiting or negative qualities into limitlessness and empowering and positive qualities, which is amazing. Let's see what your charms and dice have to say now. We'll start with your charms. Sorry, that took a while. Okay, group 2. If you're enjoying this video, please do give me a like down below. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you are enjoying this so you can see more similar content in future. Please leave me a comment as well. I would love to know how this is resonating with you. Just turning these over so I can see what you have. Okay, lovely. So interestingly, one of the charms jumped out, which is always more potent, and that is the birdcage. Freedom. A desire for freedom. And of course, you've got the birdcage in this symbol as well. So I think you're going to find your freedom in December, group 2. And incredibly, you've got freedom in the heart space. Freedom. I don't know if you can read it, but freedom in the heart space. So, you get something off your chest in December, perhaps. You stop carrying around heavy or limiting energies and emotions. You free yourself from something that has been emotionally painful or limiting. You have the anchor here, stability, grounding, resting for a while. The cross, symbol of faith. I suppose it could also be a symbol of protection as well. So that feeds in with the rest of your reading. You have the stork, birth, renewal, new life, rebirth, as we've discussed all of these themes. Some of you may be pregnant or considering starting a family. Maybe that's what you want to discuss with your partner. This might just be like a new lease of life for you, new beginning. Interestingly, on the express your love, you've got the money back. So there could be something financial that you want to discuss with your partner. Maybe it's to do with planning for having children in future. Maybe it's something connected to, like, you know, the practicalities around maternity leave and things. It could be something like maybe you want to buy a house together, plan a wedding, you know, anything like that that might indicate financial expenditure that you might want to discuss. Could even be like a new job opportunity for one or both of you. You have divine timing with the watch here. So something happening in divine timing. You've also got a love heart. So love, I do really get the sense that you're loved in December, group 2, like genuinely by multiple people. You know, you've got, I think many of you have a partner or a special someone, but also you've got other people, like a community of people who love you and care about you. Whether you're especially close to them or not, you know, you don't have to be. They could be people that you only know online, but they still, you know, want you to do well. They still care about you. You know, they like it when you check in. It's that kind of thing. Maybe you're like in a group of people that all do the same hobby, and like you draw genuine support and strength from those people. You've also got the older woman here. So there is an older woman either here or in spirit. This could be an ascended master, for example. Could even be a deity, an angel, etc. Or it could be someone in this life who is important to you in this month, who helps you, who, you know, guides you, or is just influential in your life in December. So sometimes it's not necessarily someone who is older than you. They could just be more experienced in a certain regard. So to use like the hobbyist example, you know, it could be someone who's been doing your particular hobby for years and they have a business out of it, and they offer you some mentoring or some tips, and you really benefit from that. Also, just to say as well, when I say older, I know this is a little grandma charm, but it doesn't have to be like an old person. They could literally be like a year or two older than you. It's just a symbolic of that kind of older or more mature or more insightful, wiser energy. Okay, so have a think about who that could maybe be, or just bear it in mind for December. You've got the letter U. Okay, that could be a word, place, a name, an initial. Take what comes to you there. You have the reindeer. This is nice. This is being guided by the reindeer, just as they pull the sleigh in a certain direction. This is a symbol of being guided, and that was what I felt, was that you were getting guidance quite clearly in December that helps you make sense of your situation, helps you to understand things better. Then you have the tennis rackets. This to me is like the 5 of Wands in tarot, this kind of competitive, irritable, argumentative energy, people speaking cross purposes, or people like rubbing each other up the wrong way. So there could be an argument going on, or perhaps you are in a situation where there are like people that are at each other's throats a little bit, or people with very short tempers, and maybe that's what you want to protect yourself from because you're not like that. Interestingly, you do have, considering that the Wands is the fire sign, you've also got the fire extinguisher. So you maybe what you're upset about is that there's maybe like an event in December where you end up acting as a bit of a peacekeeper. Fire extinguisher is about like firefighting, you know, like damage limitation, trying to calm down a situation or stop something from escalating. So yeah, you might end up being a bit of a mediator, a bit of a go-between between warring factions, or you might just be the person that's, you know, the only one who's not lost their rag, and you've just got to try and be calm and, you know, be the mediator, and you just are like, you know, I hate having to do this, or I hate being put in this position. What else do you have? This is, I don't read this one because it's a broken charm, but here you've got the spider's web, feeling stuck, feeling trapped, feeling caught, feeling like things aren't moving forward. Perhaps there might be a period of stasis in December, which I think is quite normal actually, like especially as you get towards late December or the second half of the month. A lot of businesses close for the holidays. You might not be able to access certain things that you normally do. Friends might be going away because they're visiting relatives, or they're going on holiday for something over the holiday period. You know, you might just be feeling like, I can't move this situation forward any further now. I've got to just wait until, you know, after the new year. You then have, what is this? The Ace of Spades. So that is the Ace of Swords. You can use playing cards as tarot cards. So Ace of Spades is the Ace of Swords. So that is like truth, communication, definitely clear communication, honest communication, new ideas, new clarity coming to you, realizations. You also have the camera, making memories that last a long time. Photography might be your hobby, or filmmaking. And then this this charm I don't really read. It's the apron of one of my worry dolls. So you can see that as like a little bit of a worry energy, or you don't have to apply it to your reading, because broken charms I don't really pay attention to. So let's finish up with your dice now, group 2. Okay, so we're rolling the second set of dice for you, which are the original dice. So I'll just grab those. Okay. And we're rolling 6 of them for you. Okay. Group 2. You got the world. Okay, so you got the world twice. Interesting. Right, okay, group 2. So the world. I mean, there we go. Again, that sense of completion, wholeness, closing a chapter, beginning another. It's interesting that it's landing on this freedom card because it also carries a sense of travel, connections with people in faraway places, language learning, learning about other cultures, and just infinite possibilities as well. Broadening your horizons. Beautiful. You've got the key over here. Key is always a positive symbol. The key indicates that you have what you need to solve a problem or to fix a situation or to achieve something. And if you think of a key as like, you know, opening a door, there again has a sense of new opportunities and like, you know, the world message of beginnings and endings, like as one door closes, another one opens, finishing one chapter necessitates a new one beginning, etc. So that's always really lovely to see as a sense of being equipped to do something. Then you have the dragon. Now this dragon, because it's so shadowy looking, I always use this dragon as a symbol of like fighting your demons, facing your fears. There's something that you need to deal with that has been worrying you, something that is, you know, a shadow issue that you need to deal with. Interestingly enough, you've also got this shadow demon over here. So like being afraid of your own shadow or having these issues that you just need to deal with. So that's coming up twice. So there is something that you need to face in December, but I love that you have the key because that is just symbolic of you being able to fix these problems. You have what it takes to solve these issues. You've got the house. Some of you, as I mentioned, you may be looking to buy a house, having a partner move in, possibly, or maybe you want to move in and that's what you need to speak up about, because this is landing on the stand up for yourself card. So maybe this is something you really want to just start planning for. House also makes me think of home and family. Maybe you need to be assertive with family members. And then you have the bee, busy bee. So quite a busy month. And to be honest, December is often a busy month for a lot of people, right? And I kind of get the feeling, group 2, that there's quite a few things that you want to get done before things start closing. So, you know, this going back to this web charm, like you want to get certain things done before the holiday period begins. You want to get things out of the way. So yeah, busy bee, lots going on, but being guided in the right direction, I think, and certainly having what you need to overcome any challenges you face. So I hope this was helpful, group 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do let me know in the comments if you did. I would love to hear from you. If you want to support me further, please subscribe. Super easy, takes 1 second, costs nothing, helps out my channel massively. Head over to Etsy if you'd like to book a private reading or an energy healing session with me, and head over to Patreon if you would like to support my work over there. I'm hopefully going to be doing a live event on Patreon just for patrons in December at some point ahead of the holidays. So if you'd like to get involved with that, then head over there. I will be pulling cards for patrons live and just chatting, and yeah, it'll be nice. And I've also got my Amazon wishlist for new tarot and oracle decks if you're interested in getting me a gift. That is in the description box. All of these links are in the description, as well as a list of all of the cards that I've used in today's reading. So if you're curious about any of the decks I've used, look in the description box. They're all listed down below. And yeah, have a wonderful rest of your day, Group 2. Thank you so much for being here. Take care. Have a great December. And I will see you again soon. Bye-bye. Hi there, Group 3. Welcome to your reading for those of you who chose Yule, Rebirth. This is for you. So Rebirth, that is the theme of Yule as a holiday, the winter solstice, and also Christmas as well. Themes of fresh start, of renewal, of joy, of hope. The winter solstice is the longest night of the year, so after that time you know that the nights are going to get shorter, and while the coldest temperatures are probably still yet to come, it's not going to keep getting dark anymore. It's going to start getting lighter and lighter, and hope returns to the world. So let's have a look at your cards. We'll start with your tarot, Group 3, using the Yuletide Tarot like I have with the other piles in today's reading. And we've got lots of oracle cards, we've got charms, we've got dice, so we've got plenty to get through in your reading, as we always do on this channel. So let's see what's coming up for you, Group 3, in December. Lovely. Okay. Oh, didn't realize the camera had gone like that while I was shuffling. I apologize. Okay, so we have Knight of Candles, or the Knight of Wands, as your first card. Fire signs: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay, then we have the Mari Lwyd. It's a Welsh tradition of someone like a horse's skull on a pole and with a cloak wrapped around them, going door to door and having like poetry battles at this time of year. A really interesting tradition. You should look it up if you're interested, if you've never heard of it. But this is the High Priestess in this deck. Then you have Four of Candles, or Four of Wands. And Queen of Candles, Queen of Wands. Lots of Wands energy, lots of fire in your reading, Group 3. Yours is very different from the previous two groups. Yeah, this looks like a happy time. So December looks to be quite a positive month for you, I would say. So it feels as though the Four of Wands is this lovely, like, people coming together to celebrate, feeling to it. So spending time with loved ones in December, meeting up with people that you care about. There's also a sense of harmony in the home for you in December, so that's really nice. Then you've got two Wands Court cards. So there is a manifesting element to this. There's also a little bit with the Knight of Wands of, like, perhaps things happen quite quickly in this month. Perhaps you don't have a lot of time to think everything through before you make your decisions. So that might be a little bit stressful. You might have to make travel plans at short notice, for example, maybe because of the weather, maybe because you needed to wait for other things to be confirmed before you could make firm arrangements travel-wise. You've got messages of manifesting here, bringing about what it is that you want, that you are hoping for. I kind of get the sense that in December you're making the most of opportunities, Group 3, so you're making the most of whatever opportunities come your way. And this is also quite a reflective time for you. I think you're doing a lot of thinking. It's naturally an introspective time for you, perhaps with a bit of a spiritual focus as well. (19) Accountability. Responsibility is a gift of love to yourself and others. Okay, so accountability. Maybe some of these like last minute decisions, maybe you're having to like own and accept that that's because you didn't plan ahead. And you're sort of putting your hands up and saying, yeah, this one's on me, kind of thing. Accountability, it's also interesting, this message of like, this is a gift of love to yourself and others. Maybe you are offering to do something in December that kind of technically makes your life harder, but you're doing it because you care about someone. Maybe you're volunteering, charity-wise. Maybe you are helping someone out with something. Maybe they've got like a dissertation they need to write and you're offering to, I don't know, give them feedback on it or help with some suggestions, proofreading or something. Just an example. You have the mirror, number 37, other lives, past lives, dimensional lives. Okay, so perhaps getting a glimpse of past life experiences and understanding how that feeds into your experience of this current life. The tree of illumination, number 7. Truth, revelations, understanding. This has been a bit of a theme actually, like people realizing things in this month, people getting like eureka moments or revelations, or finally, I guess, accepting something that they always knew but didn't want to accept or admit to. So December seems to be a bit of a revelatory month for many people. Imbolc, awakening. That's interesting because Imbolc is a different festival from Yule. Comes a little bit later on. This is the 1st of February, when the first signs of spring are starting to be visible, even though it's still very much like the grip of winter. But awakening has that rebirth feeling and also the realization feeling, doesn't it? It sort of covers both of those things. Maybe a bit of a spiritual awakening or reawakening happening for you in December if you have kind of lost your practice a little bit, or you have, just not really had time for it recently. This is a time when you can dedicate more of yourself to it. Mustard, faith. Okay, so having faith that things will work out, possibly to do with faith as in religion as well. And rose, romance. Okay, lovely. So some potential romance too. Romantic experiences. I have been pulling love cards, which I don't typically do for the general reading, so I'll pull one for you as well. Here you've got some kind of magician on a surfboard who has conjured this sea goddess or this sea being out of the waves. So there's a manifestation element to that. There's also this image of like seeing other lives, but also spiritual awakening, connecting with spirit again. Little creatures dancing around this singing grasshopper, I think it is. Cute. The feeling of celebration here, of joy, of letting go, having fun, dancing, enjoying music. And then you have the monkey, or the chimp probably, who is in this dice-shaped spaceship. You can see space all around him. With this, I get a bit of a feeling of sometimes loneliness and isolation, but I think for you, it's a bit like about you being shown things. You're seeing things, whether it's past lives, whether it's spiritual messages, whether it's some kind of other discovery or awakening. You're being given these glimpses in December. So quite a spiritual month for you. Let's get you that love card. Okay, engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Wow. Engagement. And if you're already married or engaged, it doesn't mean that you're going to marry someone else or anything like that. It just means that there is deeper commitment and deeper sense of connection within your relationship. Equally, it doesn't have to mean that you're getting engaged if you're in a relationship. It can mean that you are just deepening your closeness to your partner and sort of mentally both making a commitment to one another. So December seems a good time for love. Expectations, don't seek anyone's approval. Number 12, that's really good. So kind of this clarity of just, I'm going to be who I'm going to be. I don't expect anyone else's opinions to be given on that. I don't expect unsolicited advice. I'm just going to continue, and I don't really care what other people think. In my dreams, I find my answers. Number 20. Okay, so perhaps some of the awakening and some of the spiritual connection you're getting through your dreams. Group 3, this could be coming in through dream messages, dream visions, lucid dreaming. Beyond my mind, I am consciousness in human form. Number 18. And again, this is this understanding of I am not this one body. I am not this one experience. I have had many past lives. I will have future lives. And beyond that, I am a spiritual being, choosing to have human experiences. You have last quarter moon in Cancer. Take a breather. Okay, so allow yourself space to breathe, perhaps to integrate some of this information you're getting, just to process it. New moon in Aquarius, open up to change. And perhaps that's to do with, as we move towards the new year, getting ready for change to come in. Got the woolen hat for 15 pence and the Christmas tree for 65 pence. So the woolen hat makes me think of keeping warm and cozy. It's also connected to your head as well, so it sort of makes me think of the crown chakra and the third eye chakra, because that would be what a hat like that would touch and warm up. So yeah, maybe an awakening in those higher chakra areas. Protecting yourself, being gentle with yourself. Whenever I see something like soft and warm and cozy, it just makes me think of looking after yourself and cocooning yourself and keeping yourself safe and comfortable. And then with the Christmas tree, I see this as an image of celebration, a focal point that people can gather around. There's I think it's in Denmark, people dance around the Christmas tree, or the Yule tree as it would be called, I think. And yeah, so the sense of people coming together, which I really got from your Four of Wands card, celebrating. Really lovely. Okay, I'll just get you one more card and then we'll do your charms and dice, group 3. Missing you. Maybe you're apart from someone, missing someone in December. Maybe you're in a relationship, but you're both going to visit separate families. They're going to theirs, you're going to yours over the holiday period. And maybe the commitment is that next year you will be together, and you will be visiting families together. Okay, group 3, let's get your charms. Okay, so what do we have here? I'll just turn them over so I can see them better and then let you know what they mean. If you are enjoying this reading, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear how this reading is resonating with you. Try to reply to all of the comments, so I'm really sorry if I don't end up doing that for you, but I try to reply to as many as I can. Please do subscribe as well if you're enjoying this reading. You'll get to see more similar content of mine, and you'll help out my channel as well, which is lovely. And please give it a like too if you can spare a second. Okay, let's have a look. So you have the dog, which is a symbol of loyalty. So there is a loyal person in your life. Interestingly, you've also got the dolphins nearby. The dolphins symbolize a good friend, a helpful friend, someone who helps you. The dog can also be a zodiac symbol for anyone born in the lunar year of the dog. And you have the Ouija board, planchette. So something to do with like contacting spirit, not necessarily the spirits of the deceased. It could be that you are, making a concerted effort to contact your spirit guides in this month, contacting angels, contacting deities, contacting ascended masters. It could be all kinds of different spiritual beings, but you are trying to make contact with someone in this month, maybe even a group of beings. You have the worry thread. Okay, so worry, some anxiety in this month. You have the cat. This is another zodiac symbol because the lunar year of the rabbit is sometimes swapped for a cat, so that can be a zodiac symbol. This is also the calling card of the goddess Freya, Norse goddess of love and war. So she is around you at this time. She would like to work with you. Maybe that's who you're contacting. Consider working with her if you're comfortable doing so. You have this, I take this as like a chivalry symbol. It's like a fleur-de-lis. Sticking to your word, keeping your word, the word that you give to yourself and others. If you've told yourself that you're not going to do something, don't do it in December. If you've promised someone you're going to do something, follow through with that. Stick to your word. You've got the musical symbol here, slightly broken. So enjoying music, dancing, singing. Takes me back to this card of the singing and dancing. Sound healing, playing an instrument. Something there about sound being enjoyable, being healing. You do have a love heart as well, so love is definitely a theme for you in December. You have Cancer. Now you had Cancer over here, last quarter moon in Cancer. Take a breather. So Cancer may be a important sign in your birth chart. Sun, moon, rising. It could also be just that you're feeling that Cancerian energy of perhaps strong emotions, maybe even a little bit of vulnerability in this month, nurturing energy, caring energy, really deeply analyzing and understanding your feelings. Over here you've got the key, which is such a positive symbol. The key lets you know that you can solve any problem that comes your way in December. You have what it takes, you have the resources to solve a problem, to fix an issue, to overcome a challenge. Key also makes me think of new opportunities, like unlocking a door, a new path. Over here you've got the crucifix. This to me is like the hanged man symbol. A hiatus, taking a breather. You had that earlier on. Looking at something from a different perspective, taking some time to analyze something. The hanged man is also like, hiatus. Now this was a message for another group, it might have been group 2. This kind of feeling of like progress is slow. So there might be a period of time where you realize that something's going to take longer than expected or longer than you'd hoped because of the holiday period, like businesses closing over the holidays, or other things just not operating as normal. So you might feel like, oh, I wished I could have got this sorted or completed and done and dusted by like this time, but it looks like I'm going to have to wait until the new year. I'd rather have had it sorted this end of the new year, but it looks like I'm going to have to wait a bit longer. So that might be a theme for some of you. Then you have two letters. You've got R and you've got T. T and R. Truth just came to me then, but there could be like a word, a name, initials, places that come to you. It's going to be very, very different for everyone. It doesn't have to be words that begin with that either, like I just said with truth. You don't need to be looking for something that begins with an R or a T. It could be something like Robert, right? Ruth, Trevor, looking at it the other way. Or it could be, two words that begin with those letters individually. Just take what comes to you. Just have a look and see if any sort of messages or words come to you. It's fine if not. It might only make sense once you're actually in the month experiencing things. Those sort of things often do. You have owl, insight, guidance, wisdom, and the narwhal, a breakthrough. Breaking through to the other side, breaking through a stuck situation, discovery, realization, again, breakthrough. The anchor, steadiness, calmness, taking a breather, feeling grounded, stability, taking a rest. And then you've got the smiling cloud, which has a golden lining. Now I know that the accepted phrase is every cloud has a silver lining. This one actually has a golden lining. So this charm comes to you to say that something happens in December that maybe doesn't seem like a great thing at first, or maybe is a bit irritating, but it has a golden lining. So there is something about it, or the fact that that happens means that something better happens that you would have otherwise missed out on, or something good happens as a result of this thing that irritates you. So just be aware that something may not go to plan in December, or something may not happen that you wanted, or conversely something may happen that you didn't want, but it has this golden lining that it brings with it, which in my opinion is even better than a silver lining. So yeah, just take that on board. Okay, let's do your dice, group 3. What is coming up in December? Third set of dice. Now I think group 2 got the second set of dice and you're getting the third set of dice. So nice little synchronicity there. Those are the mystery dice, the third set. So how many are we rolling? Group 3. 2. Okay, we're going to roll 2 dice for you today. Okay, looks like a good month, group 3. I'll honestly say. Okay, so you have the handcuffs. This makes me think of recognizing what traps you, a bit like the devil card, like being aware of what it is that holds you back, what stops you. The fact that one handcuff is open also makes me think of freedom. Or the opportunity for freedom, maybe, now that you've realized something. And then over here you have the clown. Fun, silliness, play, your inner child, engaging your inner child, which is like the 5th house in astrology, enjoying yourself, letting go a little bit. Like when I think of the clown, I think of how it's like really subversive to societal expectations. And you had this card here about not seeking anyone's approval. So there's possibly like an opportunity in December for you to get a little bit silly, or, dress up or do something or act like you might be part of like amateur dramatic society or something. And like just an opportunity for you to sort of, just loosen up and have fun and it not be about, what anyone else is thinking. Just an opportunity for you to have fun and step outside of your typical self. Maybe you are going to be spending time with children this month, and maybe you don't have kids and you're used to being quite a corporate business type person, and you find yourself on the floor over the holidays, sticking Lego together and doing silly voices with stuffed animals with children, and you really enjoy it. So there's an opportunity to just, get out of your normal guise and enjoy yourself in December, which is lovely. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, group 3. Please let me know in the comments if you did. Let me know how it resonated. Please like, share, subscribe if you did enjoy. It means the world to me, makes a huge difference to my channel, and is completely free. If you want to support me in other ways, check out the description box. There's a link. Well, there's lots of links in there. There's also a list of all the cards I've used. If you're interested in any of the decks today, they'll be listed in the description box, as they always are. I have my Patreon link in the description box if you want to support me. I will be likely hosting an online live event on Patreon this December. So ahead of the holidays, I'll be doing something to pull cards live for patrons only, and just having a bit of a chat and a bit of a, more informal get together for a small group. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and support me on Patreon, because that's the only way you can get access. Equally, if you want to have a private reading or an energy healing session with me, check out my Etsy shop, which is also linked in the description. And if you'd like to send me a gift, that is really kind of you. I have my wish list, my Amazon wish list, in the description box too. That has got tarot and oracle decks that I would love to receive. So if you're feeling very generous and would like to send one of those over to me, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very, very much for considering that. And have a lovely rest of your day. Looking forward to connecting with any of you that want to join me on Patreon or book a reading. And I will see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care.